If you are weird, own it. Own your weirdness, man. Own it. Accept that part of you. Embrace it. Because guess what, man? Stop trying to be like everybody else. Yes, you grew up the oddball in the family. You were the black sheep. You were the person that always stood out in most social situations because of your oddness. Embrace that stuff. If you're into things that not many people are into, yeah, and they call you weird because of that, still do it anyway. Look, man, for me, I'm a huge nerd. I watch anime, play video games. I'm a very quirky individual, as everybody knows. Who knows me knows I'm that. I do a lot of odd things that a lot of people just give little side eyes and think, what the hell is this guy doing? But look, man, and I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid of acting like this unless I'm around people that I know. If I'm around strangers, I tend to not act like it. I tend to, mask and act like everybody else does. Because I thought, oh, that's how you appear cool. But you don't realize when you think like that, you're devaluing yourself. You're thinking to yourself that who you are is not good enough for these people. And especially if you have no friends or you don't have many friends or you're feeling lonely, you do that even more because you think that's going to get you friends. But like I said in the last video about make sure that you pick the right friends, are those the type of people that you want to be around? If you are a weirdo, do you want to be around people that you have to act like somebody else? No! Why would you want that? Be real, the person who's watching this video. Why would you want to be around people that don't accept you? Please explain. It doesn't make any sense. If you are unusual, because that's exactly what people find weird, is people who are unusual. If that is you, guess what, guys? Act that way. And guess what? You will weed out the people. You'll weed out the people who don't want to be around. And guess what? One thing that will happen eventually is that you will start to find people who also act unusual. And you will be a compatible match for them. So you won't need these other people who just find everything that you do to be like, what the hell? You'll start being around people that will laugh at your weirdness and accept it and appreciate it. These things can happen. I mean, look. I'm a grown man and I have this on my desk. I'm a huge Sonic fan. Have been since I was a child. And I still like Sonic today. I don't play Sonic as much as I used to, but guess what? I still keep that on my desk. I have a poster of Sonic right behind me. I don't know if you can see back there, but there's a Pokemon poster up there. Yeah, that's Eevee. And you can't see the rest of it, but it's all the evolutions, like as in a kind of constellation pattern thing. It's a really cool poster. But again, I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. Not nowadays, but back in the day, yeah, I used to love it. Especially like during when it first turned into 3D. That was like my resurgence of Pokemon, and it was great playing that with my friends. But yeah, man, I've gone to conventions. I mean, literally, I watched the new Demon Slayer movie yesterday. Great movie. But that's what I'm saying. I'm a proud nerd. And guess what? I have nerd friends. And who knows, I might have a nerdy girlfriend in the future. Because that's the people I want to surround myself around. other people who are nerds. Because you know why? The non-nerds don't get it. And again, I'm not attacking them. I'm not saying, oh, screw these people for not understanding us. Okay, cool. If you want to judge, yeah, you go and do it. That's the difference. I don't think like that. Look, I'll tell you a story. So I showed you my Sonic figurine earlier. One thing I'm very interested in as well is video game music. I've always been a fan of video game music, right? Since I was, I don't even know, probably 9, 10. It was actually my very first genre that I was interested in. And I remember when I started working, I would tell people at work that I'm into video game music. Every single person, anytime they heard that, they're like, what the hell? Video game music? What?
How can you be into that? How can you be into video game music? Isn't that just the ones that, loop after 30 seconds? How could you be into that?
And then, just the classic, making fun, making little snide comments about the fact that I like a genre that they themselves can't get into for some reason. And they used to make fun of me for that. And when I used to be so insecure of myself, guess what I used to do? I used to justify it so badly. I used to justify it and think that it's not a weird thing. But you know what I started doing? I started gaslighting myself and started thinking that it's somehow wrong to like video game music. I still remember this one person and this was from a recent job from a few years ago, where I told her that I like Sonic music, and the first thing she said was, oh, that's so weird. And yeah, I took offense to that, because again, music is a passion of mine. So when she told me that my interest is weird, I took offense. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it wrong to like video game music? And then I look around a few years later, a couple years later, I started, telling myself that no, it's not weird. It might be weird to you, but it's not weird to me. And I will say this as well. I found a rationalization as to why I like Sonic music and video game music in general. It's because it's something that I find enjoyment in. But I guess when I first heard the "you're weird" comment, I guess deep down I didn't really know why I liked video game music. I just did. But I never really had an explanation as to why. And here's the thing, I didn't think I needed one either. But here's the thing, I don't need an explanation for liking video game music to other people. I need one for myself, and that's it. Because me liking video game music doesn't affect them. Why do I need to explain myself? See? It's that kind of mindset that you need to start having. Stop feeling sorry for yourself because you're weird. Stop feeling like a victim because you have odd quirks. So what? If people say stuff about your quirks, again, so what? So what? So what if they don't get it? Who cares? Doesn't affect them, does it? And it shouldn't affect you either. That's the point. Once I realized that I no longer need to prove or explain why I like video game music and Sonic the Hedgehog as a grown man, again, Sonic is a cool character. It's definitely part of my childhood, and it's something that I still enjoy to this day when I go back to the old Sonic games. Some of the new ones too. I find enjoyment in those. That is the main thing. If you find enjoyment in interests that other people find weird, who cares? Who cares? Don't let people ruin your happiness and your enjoyment to the things that you're into. Don't let other people who are just too ignorant and too close-minded to figure out exactly why you like these things. Forget them. They're not important. They're irrelevant. Focus on people who appreciate the fact that you like those things. Because look, I'll say this right now. The people that will appreciate it, rather than going, oh my god, how can you like that? You know what they'll say? Oh, that's so cool, man. Oh, tell me more about that. That's the type of people you want to be around. And guess what? Those same people probably like weird stuff too. And then guess what? You can then go and find out about their interests, because you know what it's like to be judged. So you won't stigmatize them. The choice is yours. But one thing I will definitely say is embrace your weirdness. If you're weird, embrace it. I'm weird, I embrace it. Other people don't, but I don't care if they don't. Because you know why? Because I have people like my boys who understand my weirdness, and guess what? They're all weird too. They're all weird. Even the people who claim to not be weird because they're trying to be cool, they're all weird. You know who you are. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. Don't let people ruin your happiness. Yeah, embrace yourself. But guess what, man? If you learn to understand yourself more, you know, that stuff won't even bother you. That's all I've got to say. Thank you guys for watching today. Like, comment, and subscribe. Put some stories in the comments. Let me find out what your experiences are. If you have any interests that are weird, put them down in the comments, man. Get a conversation flowing. And if you're interested as well, check the link below as well, where you can find a link to the Autism Podcast, where I host that alongside my co-host. And you can listen to other autistic people tell their stories about their weirdness and their special interests. This has been Simeon of Guided Neurons. And remember, stay blessed and keep expanding.